Welcome back, everyone, to Myth Machine Gene Channel. Night falls over Chicago yet again. This show is rated R for
rock and roll.
There we go. That's what we need to hear every time. Also for all sorts of people who do horrible things, use humans as simple pawns in their games for control, give in to the beast, maybe slash open a neck or two, and so
then
on.
play vampire?
I don't know how. So far, we've seen lots of, I should say, manslaughter from this group, because I don't think anyone actually intended to kill anyone so far.
Kate did, the cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it wasn't premeditated, but it was very with the intention of, oh, okay, I'm gonna kill you now.
Second degree.
Okay. These vampires that we're about to meet are not necessarily nice.
Because no shit, obviously. We're vampires.
They're vampires, exactly. Yeah. I am your storyteller, Mikael Hellstrom, and with us we have the coterie.
Guess I'll start. Hello, I'm Dominic, or Domi for short. I'll be playing your Malkavian rockstar, Sylvester, insert guitar repair.
That was awesome.
Very nice.
Sorry.
That's actually a bass. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't find a guitar.
We'll
in other words, not Toreador.
We'll never forgive you for this outrage. Yeah. Next.
I am El Duende.
Oh, you going first?
Yeah. I am El Duende, pronouns any all. I am the fire starter of the group, also playing as a Bruja gangster named Tony Hernandez.
Indeed.
I'm Roger. I'm playing Goldtooth Charlie, former gangster caitiff, and this is my third cold in 2 months. This is getting ridiculous.
Look, God has decided your time is up then, at that point.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Enter. I am playing Kate Peretti, a well-indoctrinated vampire of Clan Tremere, and ascending cult leader.
Yes. She is.
Just me now. I'm Jan. I'm playing Ivy, venture businessman.
We have the coterie. But before we jump into tonight's session, remember that the Camarilla wants to keep the masquerade, so keep all the conversations in the chat and follow the channel for more Shreknet updates, and because this is 1991, so it hasn't been trashed yet. And subscribe and ring the bell on YouTube for the Weaver Spirits. Or the Masquerade. Yeah. Something. Yeah. Pre-game talks about real-world corollaries to World of Darkness is a classic in Vampire and any other World of Darkness game, really.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times in my soon-to-be... Yeah, actually more than 30 years playing these games. I did take a 10-year hiatus, so I guess that means that it's just a 20-year period of playing. Simply, only 20.
It's classic for this group, at least, I think.
I don't think I've been in a group that didn't start talking about real-world correlation. Oh, these things here would be controlled by Camarilla, and this would be... Here's an example of the red talons. It always happens. It always happens.
New headcanon that there was a group of hog-lost Khmer Rouge.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah.
What's the name of those vampires that live in Asia? Is it the Koi Jin or something like that?
I don't know what V5 has done with that. Have they just skipped it entirely? There was so much discussion about...
When you look at World of Darkness lore, they really skipped Asia.
But well, am I the only person who read Kindred of the East?
Oh, I've read it too. I read it.
Okay.
In fact, I read it while in China.
I've played a modern game in Tokyo before, but there wasn't any mention of that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what V5... I think they've axed Gui Jin because the Asian community in the US felt it was very stereotypical and Orientalist and so on.
It was.
Obviously, yeah, there were the name itself, Gui Jin, is a composite of Chinese and Japanese in a way that Chinese and Japanese people would never do.
So they pulled
That's a
it.
W mistake.
Yeah.
They
So
used to have, as well as part of Mage, Dragons of the East source book.
Well,
yeah,
we could-
so many source books of everything. Like if you look at V20, there is a whole set of like African bloodlines that would be separate from the European Western ones, but not quite. And yeah, it's messy, which is why I prefer to just keep my games in the West because it's easier to handle.
Like in the old lore, back when I first started playing, the whole of these, like, they still had a beast course, and like all the other were creatures besides werewolves were still in the East, were cats and whatever.
Yeah,
But
um,
that could be changed by now.
I think I did like to run Wraith in Hong Kong, though, for the simple reason that I liked what they did with the Wraith setting there, and how they basically had set up the first emperor, Qing Shi Huangdi, as a sort of a lord of the shadow world, because his terracotta army was not just about protecting him, it was about protecting him in the afterlife, which means that the entire terracotta army was transported into the afterlife when he died, giving him, the moment he went over to the other side, all the power over the shadow world in Asia. So terrifying overlord immediately upon death, and his terracotta soldiers just marching all throughout at least the Chinese domains of the shadow world and taking power immediately, which I felt was a very nifty way of weaving the terracotta army and the mythology around that into the Wraith setting. Though maybe others would disagree. I don't know.
Oh, it's
If that
quite
works,
unique.
could you build a terracotta railway and then have a public transport system in the afterlife?
You can have a public transport. Everything that exists in our physical world can get a shadow imprint in the shadow realm, provided there is enough emotional attachment from it from humans.
So the tube definitely is in the shadow world.
Yeah, it would be. And anytime you have like legends about a ghost train or a ghost subway train or something like that, then yes, that will appear in the shadow world. Yeah.
So you're
There's
saying
lots
me
of that
that
stuff.
ghost
Is there-
stations would definitely appear in the shadow realm,
Yeah, yeah.
in the very literal sense.
You're very literal. Yes. Yes.
Is there ghost Twitch?
Who knows?
Not yet, I don't think. Give it another 20 years and it'll
Yeah,
be-
exactly.
There's Usenet. Usenet is getting big in Oblivion right about now.
Oh my god. All the dead, I don't know, Weaver spirit, I don't know. Anyway, do Weaver spirits appear in the shadow world? This is the kind of things we can discuss until the cows come home, because World of Darkness
Yeah.
is like that. They
There's-
cooked
there's-
when they designed it, didn't they?
There's definitely wine in the shadow realm.
One thing I think is really funny about World of Darkness is that Kane's stat sheet just says you fucking lose.
As an answer to every min-maxer ever out there.
Yeah, more settings need to do that.
More, yes, I agree.
Like literally, like the Star Wars TTRPG, Vader's stats should just say you lose.
Yeah. This is another. When I was playing in the Camarilla, like we specifically had like a gangrel. He wouldn't be a maybe he was a Methuselah, and his job was to kill any American NPCs, any American PCs that came into wreck shit.
All right, yeah. There's so many stories about vampire LARPs that have gone right and that have gone wrong. Maybe more about them going wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that at the moment. In fact, we are heading back into the winter of 1991. We're late January. we're doing week by week downtime, and eventually the week by week downtime will end, and I'm the only one who knows when. At which point we will start the next story and go into more hourly and scene by scene situations for the next story. Domi, had a question?
If I had one, I have forgotten it.
Okay.
Would it be if after a project is started, you do 2 stories one after the other?
That could happen. Anyone who wants to start another project this week is free to.
I'm still working on my fame.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just fixing everybody's willpowers here because we had a session and you spent some willpower, and now it's a new session. We have the Odd Job coterie here, and over the next couple of weeks, Ivy will be slowly but surely integrated into it, of course. Ivy will know that they have their headquarters here in the communal haven, which Ivy can go to and say hello and talk to the others whenever. In the Latin quarters.
Also, there's nothing in the basement.
There's nothing in the
basement.
And eventually we will add Ivy's thoughts on background dots for this coterie. Currently it has 3 lien and 2 chas. No portillon at this particular moment, but I'm sure that's going to be amended over time. It has 3 dots of haven. It has 1 dot of hidden armory, a couple of dots of security system, 1 dot of library, and 1 dot of herd and the flaw creepy haven. Because Sylvester...
Just my presence there is enough to make it creepy.
Yes, it is. But we have now, I'm going to say, the last week of January. The moon is getting more and more full. Soon there will be a full moon over Chicago, which is actually not ominous yet. Or is it? Who knows? And we did have a bit of a thread, a complication for this coterie that Ivy is as of yet unaware of. And that is, what are you going to do with the body of the basement?
To be clear, I've been taking very good care of him and nursing him back to reality. He is not dumped in the basement. Because remember, we're trying to get him to owe us his life, and also we've already stolen his blackmail material.
Yes,
we're trying to get paid twice, and that only works if we're nice to him and help him.
So we're gonna let him be in the basement for the week and then release him.
Yeah,
if he can stand, sure.
Before he wakes up, Charlie and Tony should go back to his condo and go through all his accounts, because this is the only chance we're going to get to do this.
To be fair, you've already done that. At some point, I'm going to need you to go back and take all the papers I've made Xeroxes of and put them back. Maybe look like the place has been normal robbed. Like, just steal expensive shit that you see on the side.
I can do that.
Like, just and then just put the papers just strewed about if they weren't incredibly well hidden before.
Yeah,
just to make it look like a normal robbery and unconnected to us.
That was 2 things. The blackmail file is one thing, but the financial records are something else that'll take us a couple of days to dig through.
Yeah, but you can grab
but we can make copies of those at home and then throw them back.
Yeah, exactly. You can take copies and throw them back, and then you can study the copies. That is a thing you can do.
So a few bits of busted furniture later.
Exactly.
To be fair, most robbers wouldn't violently assault furniture. What I mean, it make it look like a robbery. Knock some things over, break a window, that sort of thing.
I might most people apply a crowbar to the front door, though, or such.
Yeah, look like a normal person came in.
Ransack the door, okay? Then crowbar it open again.
If there's like I don't know, like a cabinet or something, open it maybe just a bit violently.
Sure.
Not like it's my cabinet.
Have fun. Just make it look like a mortal did this.
Sure.
But basically, with this era, does that mean we're basically stealing his Sega Mega Drive?
I don't think a businessman like him would have one.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Roll a die. Roll a die right now.
I'm sure he has.
Can't tell the story, tell us.
That's
do it
fine. I'm sure he has a computer of some sort, like a little bit of a computer.
Sega Genesis.
Though, on the other hand, let's see now. He is. You know what? He might keep most things on as paper records, actually. That's what I'm thinking.
Safer.
It's not
If you
so
don't have
much
high
about
tech.
safer, it's more about how. Yeah. Yes, definitely because it's safer. Yes, of course it is.
If you don't have good tech in this era, you can't protect your own. There's no effective Norton these days.
Yeah, no, there's no Norton in these days. This is true. They were blessedly free of Nortons.
Hey, I gotta get like that computer virus where it's like, you are an idiot.
Yes, that one.
The smiley face one.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, does anyone have a problem with that plan? I've already made copies of everything. If some people just want to go over to his place again, make it
No,
look
I'd
like a
love to
normal
smash
robbery and throw that in.
Down.
Also,
if we want to do that,
if you're
do we
going
wanna
to
give him, do we want to give him any extra threads he might start pulling on?
no, let's not give him something interesting to do. Let's just make it look like a normal thing.
Something interesting to do.
Because this thing, if he starts pulling threads, that means there's threads to pull, which means there's more.
No,
He's got a
let's
chance
pull
to get
Illuminati.
invested.
Let's leave random clues for no reason.
Do you believe you could make interesting clues that wouldn't implicate you?
Let's just make a little suggestion.
That's a question. Keita, do you believe you could make interesting, compelling clues to lead someone on a wild goose chase that wouldn't implicate you in any way?
Sylvester
did
very
pull an
excitedly
Illuminati.
raises his hands.
I'm going to be busy doing this paperwork and nursing him back to health. Also, if you do steal anything, don't bring it back to the Haven. I don't want him walking out the front door and noticing like one of his personal belongings sitting on a desk.
I make no guarantees.
Oh yeah, before he wakes up, we should figure out who those women are that he's stalking.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. I
Yeah,
think
of
only
course.
Tony was the only one who actually saw them. Right?
Yep.
But we saw photographs of
yeah, there were pictures. There were pictures, definitely.
Okay.
In the whole, let's do this properly. Who is
Yeah.
doing investigations? Let's ask about that. Who is doing investigations this week? Because that's really what we're doing here. Obviously not Ivy, because Ivy is blissfully unaware of this particular thing until someone lets him in on it, which might happen later. But Goldtooth Charlie seems to be doing investigations. Kate is definitely doing something about this, and Tony seems to be helping out as well, right?
Yes, helping, yeah.
By
Totally
helping, you go in and wreck the place because it's fun.
Yeah,
Yes,
Tony gets a larceny roll. Everyone else does investigation.
Okay, so you get to roll the larceny part, which, yeah, exactly.
Can I help Tony with larceny?
You could also just roll off.
Why not? Okay, so Sylvester is also
Yeah, I
involved in
wreck
this.
some stuff because if Tony starts wrecking stuff, it might look supernatural with how beefy he is.
I'm gonna use
Yeah.
my fucking potence on it, okay? I'm just going to destroy it with my regular human strength, motherfucker. I'm
To be fair, most human robbers don't punch through furniture with their normal human strength
motherfucker, that's
either.
the potence. That's the vampire shit.
The vampire shit means you don't get hurt by that. It doesn't mean a normal person would do it.
He doesn't have
I'm
to
not
activate.
good. Okay, whatever.
He
Whatever.
doesn't have to activate his prowess. This is not like
That's that's literally what I said. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like
Whatever.
in V20 when potence is always in there.
Whatever, dude.
Okay, it sounds like Charlie and me are doing investigation, and the two of you are doing larceny.
Yes, that sounds like it is, yeah.
What attribute goes with investigation in this sort of
Depends.
situation?
In this case, because we're doing downtime and we're doing abstracted time, so I can go with blah, blah, blah. What's words? Intelligence is the attribute we're looking for.
Sweet.
Which I'm sure is terrible for the two of you.
Very nicely done.
Look
was
at that.
insane. What the hell?
Oh,
It's
No,
something.
no.
Let's see now. Help rolls are different from that, right? Help rolls in this game is
Premier Clan Curse activates. I cannot I cannot do a shit job at this.
like group tasks. Let's see now. We have, at any rate, we have. Oh my God, Kate is really working on this one. You're gonna find out things from his records, of course. So, some blackmail material, huh? But not just that. You're also gonna find out other things. He has substantial information about those two women, as we talked about. And they are apparently his older daughter and his ex-human wife.
Oh.
You
Oh,
sure you want to
isn't it?
step?
This is
Sorry.
spicy.
Oh, great guy.
Absolutely wonderful guy. Yeah, probably.
Least evil vampire.
So was he just beating up his own family, or are these different people?
He was beating up someone who looked very much like his ex-wife. Yeah.
So he chose a look-alike and then went into a feral rage.
Yep.
Can we tell if that was actually her or if it was somebody who looked like her?
You don't have
Well,
any identification on the woman he beat up because you let her go. Looks like her, could be her, you don't know.
Can we tell
If
like
we've got
how
the
long
wife's
this guy...
number, you could just call her. If she answers, she wasn't beaten to a pulp by an angry supernatural creature.
But can we tell that this guy is young enough that his family would still be alive and of that sort of age?
From the pictures, so the pictures of them are very, let's see now. You do have 8 successes on investigation intelligence. Very late 70s, early 80s, just by hairstyle and how they dress, just at that particular turn of the decade. That
And
would
it-
be 10 years ago, so they could definitely still be alive.
And just to remind everybody, just leaving him on the roof and going to bed is always an option.
No. Because if we're caught, there's going to be a blood hunt on us.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
The thing is, though, it wouldn't leave much evidence.
It wouldn't. Also, it would give you some stains because, you know,
You murdered a guy.
murder, yeah.
It's not like they have vampire CSI that can tell this used to be a vampire's ashes.
No, they've got blood magic, which is better.
Exactly. Kate knows
They can tell you
exactly.
what vampire that was.
Out of character, hasn't he broken the masquerade technically
No?
by
If he-
beating up a mortal woman?
No.
No.
Not unless he was planning on leaving her alive.
Mm.
And it didn't look like he was.
Exactly.
Technically, Tony's done a bit of damage to the masquerade by just letting her just leave that scene.
Yep, I'm the one who did a fucky wucky there.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
fine. I doubt she's going to report it, and if she did, what would she say? A fancy businessman tried to beat me to death.
Some other guy bit him really bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see
Okay,
how
so-
things are going for Tony and Sylvester in meanwhile. You're trying to toss the apartment to make it look like burglary.
And put the papers back.
Considering Tony has literally done shit like this before, all he'd have to do is just do a burglary like he would before.
Do you have a baseball bat or a single leg or even a plank? I think just wrecking things would feel so cathartic, wouldn't it?
It really would.
Yeah.
I won't use the strength I get from the blood. I wouldn't do that. Just
Hit things, yeah.
yeah.
For teamwork, typically, you take the largest pool of the participants and add one additional die for each character that has at least one dot in the skill involved.
I have 2 in larceny. Sorry, no,
I
1 in
got,
larceny.
What is
I
your
got a
pool
1
in
in
total?
larceny.
You have 5, and
Well,
Sylvester has...
depends on what attribute we use.
I'm thinking Tony... yeah, so maybe it's not even dexterity here. Maybe it's something more, because you want to stage the scene. So maybe this is more intelligence larceny, actually. Oh,
Yeah,
so that would be
wits.
3 dots for Tony, and 3 dots for
Oh
Sylvester.
We're stupid. We're so
Yeah, I think I'm
stupid.
gonna blood surge this one.
Though Tony does have the lock-picking specialty, which gives him 4 dots in total. Yeah.
Which means half I could just take free successes, which isn't a lot, but
Sylvester would help you out with an extra die, so
7 dice.
yeah.
That isn't a lot. Fuck it, we ball.
Il Bondsman on speed dial.
Exactly. 5 successes is gonna be enough, I think. It's a difficult place to be at because of the high security in this building, but okay,
6
of course
successes.
he's gonna expand the willpower just in case. But hard would be enough, so I'm gonna say that you're gonna succeed with this. It's a high security building, so the whole thing is gonna be a hard task, but between the two of you and the fact that you have done similar things in the past, on the other hand, you are both small-time crooks in this. You're not professional burglars at all. This could be a bit of a comedy of errors situation where
I
you're
mean-
whispering to each other about keep your voice down. No, you keep your voice down.
Okay, I feel Sylvester being really loud here.
And then one of you is dropping a bag and it goes clink very loudly in the hallway. And you did you forget the batteries for the flashlights?
Damn it, I did.
It's not my voice is speaking to me and just feel like telling me to say these things to Tony. No.
Has to be, yes.
Yeah, you forgot the damn flashlights. Huh.
Damn it. All right, wait here. I'll come back.
Okay.
And then halfway through, I realized, wait a minute. I do have the flashlights.
You do have
Where's the
flashlights. Yeah,
batteries to
good.
them?
Quite funny. He just turns up only with a pocket full of batteries and no light.
I grab the batteries, leave the flashlight there.
Because you remember the batteries are important. But you forget why they're important for a second.
So we have a very ADHD thing to do.
And none of us can
My
see in the
criminals,
dark.
dog. We ain't ever getting away with this shit.
It's going great, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
None of us can see in the dark, can we?
Don't think so.
Yeah, but you would either have to have Eyes of the Beast or Oblivion Sight, and I don't think any episode has that.
So I guess our choices are flashlights or fumble around in the dark.
I think darkness just gives you a penalty to your awareness. So if you guys have got good awareness, it shouldn't slow you down too
We have rolled a roll for doing this task.
Oh, you've
so
already rolled
obviously
for it, yeah.
yeah. And then as you're coming into the, I'm just channeling their relative amateurish level on this, but between the blood surge and the willpower, obviously the two of them have a job of work cut out for them. They're gonna sweat it for a while there. It's definitely not gonna feel like it's gonna be a smooth walk in the park for either of them. Sylvester probably dreams about standing on a stage somewhere and doing some metal riffs rather than burglaring a place and making it look like it's burgled. Speaking of which, this is the second time we're burglaring this place, isn't it?
Burgled.
Though the first time you burgled it and really burgled it, you actually had his key. I guess you could just use the key to get in and then make things, but you have to make it look like you were trying to break open the lock. That's the
I
point.
like to think that we were planning on using the key, but then forgot the key on the way there and just decided, fuck it, we don't need the key.
You're supposed to make it look like a proper break-in, so you can't use the key. You have to use some
I mean,
kind
you
of
can
lockpick.
use the key, you just have to leave the door open or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Slightly ajar.
There's also the idea that maybe he assumes that asshole who kicked his ass maybe also took his key and then robbed him.
What are we doing about his car?
That's a good question, but we'll get to that in a moment, because first of all, I'd like to say that this is breaking and entering. Why? It's violating the boundaries and well-being of another, which kind of depletes the soul a bit, as per our chronicle tenets. So, how about, I don't know, do we think, does the table think that this is 1 or 2 stains? 1 stain?
Yeah,
One
just
stain.
one.
1
At
stain?
most one.
Okay.
Because this guy doesn't really respect the boundaries of well-being of others.
But it's not about the victims.
I hear you, yeah.
The level of guilt has nothing to do with the victim's mentality. It has to do with your actions versus the victim, right?
Yeah, I'm still thinking that it's 1 stain.
Because you're not actually burglaring the place.
I think it's 1 too, because you're not doing any physical damage to him at the same time or something. I think 1 is okay.
Okay, let's go with that. And let's see. Tony, of course, has a bunch of convictions. Do whatever it takes to defend the crew, which is exactly what you're doing, aren't you?
Yep, there's also the other ones.
There's also the other ones, but let's go with that one, and that means you don't get any stains. And I think Sylvester is guarding what Sylvester loves, isn't he?
Yeah.
Also, courage is the highest virtue, so you're doing a brave thing here, so...
Very stupid thing, but brave.
Right? Taking 1 for the team. No stains for you!
Very nicely
You
done.
can rationalize it. You had questions. Yeah, that's a bit about what. So you're gonna basically succeed in tossing his apartment. It's gonna look like a proper burglary. It's gonna be like messy. You have placed all the files back. Nobody caught you, not even the night guard, because this is a nice enough neighborhood to have a guy downstairs sitting by the main entrance. But you're
Theoretically, if there was a Sega Genesis, it's gone now.
yes, it is, or at least copied thoroughly by Kate, who can do such things because she is a computer wizard.
No, with the console you couldn't. That's hardware. It's all cartridges. It doesn't have a hard drive.
Oh, that's I believe that's a video game system.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I can shove that in the photocopier and get something out.
Oh, no, I was thinking, yeah, but okay, fair enough. But
Yeah, just
It's just a
the
piece of
Sega Genesis,
paper.
not actually taking it.
Yeah, we give this to Kate and they say, just hey, can you copy this?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, could you give me like $100 bucks? I'll go copy it down at the video game store. Just buy you one
no. Yeah,
and say,
when
put this one back.
Yes.
You just get Kate to make us a couple of ROMs.
Then we're all just sat
I
back in
back to his
the
apartment.
doing Streets of
There's a-
Rage.
Yeah.
oh,
There's
dear.
a printed picture of the Sega Genesis where the Genesis was supposed to be, along with printed pictures of the
I
game
can-
cartridges.
I can tell you for sure that Mr. Champeter does not have a gaming console. He is of an
Definitely rubbed
age.
the wrong guy.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's.
this is all purely hypothetical.
Yeah, no, he is a bit too old for that.
Yeah, does he have one of those enormous home entertainment systems? There's like a wooden case with a TV in it and a record player on top.
He looks to be in his 40s, right? You've seen his face very clearly. At least Tony has, and he looks like he's in his mid 40s. And in the pictures, the pictures that are still available with him in it. There's going to be obviously some pictures with his daughter and an ex-wife that have been, shall we say, demolished by Mr. Schumpeter in different ways. Yeah, that's his mood apparently. But if he was in his 40s in the 70s, in his early 40s in the 70s, gaming consoles is not this guy's life.
Who knows? There was one grandma who played, like, I don't know, Tekken or some shit.
Not this guy. No, definitely not. No.
Whatever.
No.
Literally
he doesn't have...
1984.
No. Meanwhile, in a different part of town, Ivy might be up to something.
Am I? Oh, I'm still trying to feel for a ghoul.
You're working right now on the retainer. Since this is our third week that we're dealing with. Let's see now. You started that week. That week was setting up the haven. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. This is going to be the 4th week. Ivy's... I'm going to be a bit generous here and say that Ivy's progress has gone from... If the rest of the Oddjob gang was spending the first week of January moving into Chicago, then you didn't start your projects that week. You started the second week. But Ivy could have started his project the first week. So we've had... Yeah, we're going to have... The progress die is down to a 3 for you now with your retainer. Whereas everybody else is going to be down to a 4.
So, progress die down to a 3. Is that doable, or should I wait?
It is very possibly doable.
Yeah, because it's difficulty free.
So what would I have to
no,
roll?
The difficulty is a 3. That's not what's happening. The difficulty is the opposition roll is going to be 3 dice.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's how that works.
What would I have to roll? Because that would... I'll see what my dice pool is, and I'll see then will I go for it.
You want to make the project move on a bit. A goal roll.
Yeah, I don't know if I do yet. I just want to see what my dice pool would be. Would I be able to beat 3? Like, I'm not committing just yet.
Yeah, I know. I'll explain the rules for you. You can make a goal roll at any time, and you can use your staked dots in the goal roll since they're already dedicated to that goal. The goal roll is a conflict roll against the dice pool equal to the current value of the project die. So if you try for a success when the project die shows a 6, you roll against a pool of 6 dice. You cannot use willpower, blood surges, or disciplines on this roll, usually. And you get no criticals on the goal roll. Each 10 only counts as 1 regular success. Worse yet, the opposition's critical do count because of the house advantage for the status quo. If you win, you do damage to the project die, decrementing it by the number of extra successes you rolled. If it decrements below a 1, the project suddenly succeeds. If you lose, you take damage as losses to your background dots, starting with the stake.
Scary.
If the loss is reduced, their stake to 0, this project suddenly collapses. So.
Okay, do I just have my stake and that's it? Because I think
Nope.
I just put 3 in.
Let's decide here. You're trying to charm someone for a retainer. I'm going to say probably manipulation. No, wait, we're using a skill here. Subterfuge works fine, right?
Yeah, subterfuge.
Or etiquette high society, because that would
No,
also
let's
apply.
try subterfuge.
So that would be 4 dice plus your 3 dots in stake in total. So that's going to be 7 dice in total versus 3 dice. It's almost like you have an advantage here.
I think I'll try.
Okay.
So
It sounds
Okay,
weird
so-
using the word stake in this context when we're vampires.
I can't seem to add the 3. It's asking me for an attribute, not and it has a thing for discipline. But you know what? I'll just roll 7d10 with the thing.
Yeah, this supposed to be a... Oh, there we go. Custom modifier. So when you click on subterfuge, and you click on confirm, I would allow you to add what kind of discipline might... Maybe dominate would work in this case, actually.
Okay, I'll add dominate just because
add
it's true.
dominate and confirm, and then there's a custom modifier that you can add. So you
Where's
can add
that?
3 there, or you just click on the vampire dice.
Oh,
there
sorry, I
and
see
add
it.
3.
Add 3 there. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
1.
And then you roll.
Okay, sorry. That was in a. It was in a. It's in a weird place in my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, and. Oh, where did it go? Did I that roll or did it not?
It has not rolled yet.
Okay. Let me.
Here's my dog. We are dog posting now.
What? There we have a roll.
4 successes, I think. I can't actually tell.
That was 4 successes, yes.
Okay.
You are right.
Come on. He literally can't beat me, so let's see
Nope.
if I can beat him.
Cannot beat you.
We could roll a 10. Never mind.
Yeah, you could get a crit.
Yeah, 2 10s would actually beat you, yes. No, it would be 4 successes and it would be even, so yeah. That
Well, he
would...
could get 1 success, then 2 crits. He could beat you, theoretically.
Yeah. But 1 success
See
and
how
2
it goes.
crits. That would be horrifying, wouldn't it? I'm
Just
rolling
going to put...
no such thing. I am rolling...
Yeah. Oh, fucking McAfee.
That is 1 single success. With 3 successes more than this person would have, you succeed. You bring the progress die all the way down to 0. And you now have yourself a retainer level 2.
Yay.
Boom.
He's either just going to end up
Really?
running an executive search firm. It's like finding the ghoul for you.
Okay.
What is this person like? We want to know everything. What is the scene
Okay.
like at the end of January here when you're finally... What kind of tests have you run for this person?
Okay. You guys ever see the movie Secretary?
No.
Oh, okay.
As in the BDSM film.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
I was about to say I haven't, but I'm very much aware.
Okay.
Okay, what? Alright, I need to Google this. What the fuck?
Okay. I have no familiarity, I'm afraid.
The 2002 American erotic romance film. That one?
Yes. With Maggie
Okay.
Gyllenhaal and James Spader.
Yeah. It is certainly looking like a movie.
Okay. Never mind. What I'll do is, so I start to drink a bit with her, and I want to see. I don't want to be like workplace harassment, but I want to be. Actually, wait. I kind of love bomb her a bit
Oh.
for the month. Like, just turn on a full-on charm offensive, Germans invading France, only with charm.
That becomes a very interesting parallel here, given that the invasion, in fact, was slightly forceful, but we're charming and not forcing ourselves upon the poor woman, apparently.
Yeah, when you look at Ivy's character portrait, you
Don't
just
get another
the
Spaniard.
idea of that being charming is terrifying.
Hey, maybe that's what she likes.
Oh no.
You're a decisive businessman, clearly, so... Yeah.
I know what I want.
She will... Oh, is she... Are you the dominant to her submissive? You've
Yes.
checked out that she's actually into this kind of thing?
Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. Like some of the tests I could have done with her would be tests if she is a submissive when I
Right.
was interviewing her,
Yeah.
and that's what I could have tested for, as well as her typing and stuff like that.
No, I'm almost starting
This
to
isn't
think
going
about
to go in any way wrong as soon as she gets a taste of that sweet vite.
We'll see. It might go horribly
You know
wrong.
what? I'm almost thinking that this should have been an insight test rather than subterfuge, because subterfuge suggests to me that you are tricking her into this situation whether she's fitting for it or not, just because you think she's fitting for it. But if you're actually wanting to make sure that she's fitting for it, then it's really insight.
No,
rather
because
than...
I'm molding her into the person I want her to be.
Oh.
Okay, you are playing Christian Grey now, aren't you?
You know what? I wanted to stay away from that by going James Spader, but if you want to make that
James Spader. Okay, it's the James Spader thing. Yep, that makes sense. What does she look like?
I don't know. I feel like them pretty, but he doesn't really have a taste besides that. I don't know. Like Jennifer Love Hewitt. No, was it that? No. What was the name of the actress? Name a cute actress who played the frumpy girl in the before part of Frumpy Girl Becomes Hot. What's the name of that movie with Freddie Prinze Jr.? She's all that, yeah.
Oh, that would be...
You can... She doesn't have to be... I don't really have a thing for... But that kind of vibe. Not exactly that, but that kind of vibe.
Rachel Lee Cook.
Yeah,
That
but
was...
specifically like her at the start of the movie. Sexy librarian is what I'm saying.
Now it's Ugly Betty.
Yeah, exactly. Ugly Betty.
Gotcha. I'm gonna generate a picture for her here.
Oh no.
And we're gonna
This
have...
is gonna be awful.
Okay, I'm gonna give her a name too. We need a name
You're
for her.
self-aware. Oh. I am looking longingly at the gun right now.
Her name is Alice Reese.
Okay.
I just decided. And she is now your ghoul. And she's gonna look... Oh my, that means that she is gonna drink of your blood. This night, when you're finally going to induct her into your service through the blood, she's been working hard because I'm sure she's like a career climber. She wants to, make a... She has an MBA from University of Chicago, the business school of the University of Chicago.
An MBA. Oh, she's a bit overqualified to be my secretary, so whatever.
Okay. Maybe she has just a certificate as an executive assistant from a community college.
Something like that.
Yeah. And she's been working hard to impress you because this is the break of her lifetime. And you've done some various work with her in the past to make sure that she can keep maybe not so strange hours, because you meet her in the evenings, and that's not unnatural at all. So I don't think she suspects you're being a vampire at all. Until you do the thing. How are you going to do the thing?
Okay, so
And give
this
her
is
the
the
blood.
scene. I invite her back to my place, and like when she gets there, there's
Miss Reese, of course. She's not just
Yeah.
Alice. She's Miss Reese.
there's candlelight dinner kind of thing vibe going on. Maybe there's the candles are pink flame or something with true glass. Like I've hidden the herd upstairs, and I say that 3 years ago something happened to me where I no longer could act as much in the daytime as I was able to, and I really need somebody to act for me during the day who's totally loyal and will ask no questions.
I believe I'm your girl, sir, she says, and looks
Uh,
up expectantly. A bit weirded out, maybe, because I can't act during the daytime. Does sound weird,
Yeah, that is some freak shit.
but she's Willing to try. Whatever it takes to get
And-
ahead, right?
And you are aware, of course, that my family has been in Chicago for 150 years, and
Of course, sir.
we have long had some unusual traditions among the people who work for us in close roles. Would you be willing to indulge me by taking part in one of these traditions?
I suppose so, she says. Again, a little bit weirded out, but you know,
No.
we gotta get ahead here,
To
right?
yourself,
Okay.
"Oh, I'm about to get murdered."
Now, you can say no and you'll get a reasonable severance package, but you'll never be able to work in Chicago again.
Bathroom too.
There are other cities.
She looks dismayed at this. No, sir. My lips are sealed.
I'm going to need you to drink my blood.
Blinks. Okay, sir. That's strange.
no.
I won't dispute that. I understand now what you meant by it being a different tradition, but I suppose old money has strange traditions, right? I guess.
Yes, and you'll probably enjoy it. I've been told it is enjoyable for the drinker.
I never tried before, she says. When I was a kid, I tried a little bit. There's a nervousness creeping in here, which Ivy
Okay.
doesn't notice at all because he has no insight into such
Yeah, he's not
things.
good. Apparently, yeah, I really need to get that. He puts out a wine glass and
Just giving her that Elon
my
Musk
God, does
stare.
and slits the vein in his arm. I don't know, is it called the ulnar vein or the radius vein or something like that? Pours a bit of blood into the wine glass.
She's
And, like, hands
gonna
it to
look
her.
at that pretty freaked out. If Ivy knew about other people's internal feelings, there would be an obvious struggle between I really need this job and what the hell is going on here.
The sex cult would have been better.
Maybe not, actually, because in this case, she's not required to remove any of her clothing at all.
Yes.
To be
You know.
fair, the blood
Sorry,
cult
that's
that
a
I'm
joke.
running would have been so much easier. Nobody cares about blood in that one. Actually, they care exclusively
So
about
she
it.
will, with trembling hands, pick up the glass, and the whole glass is full, right? Because you don't need to. Yeah, I guess you need to give her
Well, I don't know the rules in V5, but in Old Vampire it was like 3 separate feedings of 1 blood point kind of thing.
That's for the bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna drink that. She's just shutting her eyes and then just, let's get this over with. And she just drinks it really quickly. And this is in 1990. So
Yeah.
AIDS scare is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But she's a brave lass and she will do this.
Oy.
Like, she's like, before she drinks it, she's looking up at you and going, you don't have... Of course not. And then she just drinks it. She realizes that it's a bad thing to ask your boss if he has AIDS.
He's straight. Straight people can't have AIDS, right?
Exactly.
Oh, there is a question there. Obviously, vampires are immune to that, but
Mhm.
can they carry it?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. It's good to know.
I think it's
Yeah,
a flaw
yeah, it
that
is
you
a
can
flaw.
pass
There's
it on.
Yeah.
There's a specific flaw for blood illnesses, but they might be
Yeah.
supernatural. I don't remember.
Fair enough.
To avoid it, it will probably be like how drug addicts, injecting drug addicts, have to clean their works. And if a vampire doesn't want to pass on a blood disease, has to suck bleach up into his fangs and then spit it back
Oh,
out. and then
Jesus
rinse
Christ.
the
Something
clean
like that.
water.
Yes, that's what you need to do. Yes. Brush your teeth carefully with bleach. Ew.
Or vodka, like Sylvester does apparently.
Yeah. And as she drinks this, first you just, and then, oh, sir. Sir. Ah, that was not what I expected, sir. And her eyes will go from fear and trepidation to, wow, you're cool.
Well,
Kind of fucked up that vampires have a built-in date rape potion.
yes, it is. It is.
So, yeah,
Um,
bone strength is equal to the number of times the thrall has consumed the regnant's blood. So, yeah, she's now going to be one step towards that and so on. And she's, let's see now, you have some disciplines, don't you?
Yes.
We're going to
Dominate and fortitude.
I think gains the first dot in one of their master's disciplines.
You can decide, or is it I decide? Whatever.
I think it's actually the strongest discipline.
Then one dot on it.
It doesn't, it doesn't really
It
say,
does-
but it makes more sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's usually the strongest discipline, but that's for quick NPC making. That's recommended, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, fair. It's,
The ones
So
I was
she
thinking
won't
of the
really
Ghoul
know
section.
exactly that she has powers at this point. You're gonna have to show her that.
Yeah, over time, because technically making a ghoul is breaking the masquerade, right?
No,
But-
No.
as long as you make
Um,
sure that they don't talk about it, it's fine. Which they won't,
Okay.
as the when they are in like properly blood bonded, they won't because they love the master. They're not gonna betray the master.
Discipline she might have got.
But I'm going to slowly get her up to teach her that I'm a vampire. I don't know exactly when that's going to be. Maybe that'll be like next month or something.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense. At this particular
like-
moment, I think she's enjoying the thrill of it, because even as you are using her, she's going to pass it on to everybody she's working with during the days, because now she has compel, and she'll just look into people's eyes and go, do it!
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll subtly suggest she should be my live-in secretary. or-
She's fine with that. Let's see now. I've given her 3 investigation and 3 etiquette. What other... Because we're basing her here on an average mortal, because that's what she is.
Maybe
A
some
third,
finance.
a third skill out of 3. What would you think?
I don't know. Since I thought of her as a secretary, what skills do secretaries have?
Good
Like
question.
they're good at paperwork, good at organization, good at.
Yeah, investigation I think works. Is it-
Academics or finance, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And the bureaucracy doesn't exist in this one anymore,
Nope.
does it?
No, it
Mhm.
doesn't. But academics can work.
Politics does.
What?
Politics does, yes, but that's
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
same, quite the same thing. That's
No.
like that's something else.
Right.
Academics can, yeah, I'll put her 3 at per academics, 4 at 2. I'm gonna put 2 at finance because she's working with you on that. How about 2 at persuasion for other people? I don't know. Do we want her to have 2 politics?
Yeah, sure.
Awareness.
Maybe
She has to be
maybe
aware
you
of the
can give
things that the
her
boss
some
isn't.
insight so she can help Ivy in that direction.
Okay, let's go with some insight, some
Does she
technology,
get
and
like
some
contacts as
computer.
well?
What was that?
Does she get contacts as well?
Nope. Because she's a ghoul, so she doesn't have any backgrounds at this stage.
Because that would have been really handy if she knew loads of other secretaries around the corporate world could have the inside track on getting in to see powerful people.
Yep, that would be cool. But not in this case. All right, I've given her some stats. Alice
Sure.
Reese at your service. Okay.
Okay, I think we got to that without being too creepy.
On the edge of creepiness, absolutely. But since she
Yeah,
likes...
that
she's-
was very close to crossing over into Harvey Weinstein territory.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that entire segment about talking about DOMs and subs made me want to just spam that never goon minion image in the chat.
Yeah. I was really trying to not cross any lines, but at the same time,
We didn't see
Yeah.
any stop the play markers coming up, so we're all good, right?
okay, great.
But
How
yeah.
do you do that? Just in case for the future.
What?
that?
What button do you press to do the stop playing thing?
It's the helmet on your upper left. It's the
Yeah, the safety tools.
safety tools
button.
thing. It's the
Oh,
fourth
okay.
button. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, cool. Groovy.
Yeah. Everybody's practiced.
All right, now I know what that is. All right then.
Do we want to take a short break here? Stretch our legs, everything, and be right back
Sure.
in 5 minutes?
I'm down with that.
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
We are back from the short break, and we're gonna look at the rest of this time period. This at least 1 week, but we'll see how far we get. So, I feel like we should do things here. Funsies things. Sylvester! Yeah, why not?
Yes.
That could be fun. It's an eventful week for Sylvester, apparently. Not only does Sylvester commit some burglary, but one night...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One night... I'm clicking on the wrong things here. You are probably in the nightclub streets after having played another set with the Vixens.
It's just a vixen, by the way, not
Oh,
vixens.
Vixen. Yeah, sorry. It's a band name, so there's more than one person involved, clearly.
We are all individually vixen.
All an individual Vixen. And Sylvester is gonna be heading home, or heading back to the communal haven, or whatever we might call this. And as such, are we together with Leopold in this case? Leo? Or is he just...
Probably. I'd be like, hey, Leo, can you drive me back?
Right.
I might as well. He works the shifts at a lot of venues.
He does. Leo is... Let's see now. Leo very well. And it seems like he's a bit more quiet than usual. He's not as outgoing and more introverted than you're used to him being tonight. But you don't have much time to think about that, because even as you're going to your van, a cop is coming up there. In fact, 2 cops. And they're like, hey, you! Hands where we can see them! You're under arrest!
Oh, fuck. Drive!
You haven't actually gotten into your vehicle yet.
Oh.
Fuck.
I think Tony's gonna start running.
Tony's not there. This is just Sylvester.
Yeah, this is just Sylvester.
Oh my god, I'm complete
Sylvester and
dumbass.
Leo.
I was not paying attention
Nope,
enough. Oh,
you were not. You scum! You thought you could get away with it, you fuckers? Come on, hands up on the vehicle. Spread your legs, god damn it! Low-life fuckers. What are we doing?
I think Sylvester is actually gonna raise his hands because he has done nothing wrong.
Bidet.
He has the what?
He's gonna raise his hands at least.
Yeah. Yeah, put your hands on the vehicle right now!
Okay.
They haven't actually pulled out guns or anything. They have their hands on their nightsticks, but also the other hand on the holster.
He's
Yes.
just gonna do as told and just be like, what's this even about?
Sylvester, you are currently being verbally abused by a pig, as it were. This is a harassment
Well?
situation, so I want you to roll frenzy check difficulty 2.
what the hell?
Okay.
Oh, damn.
In the back of your mind, you feel the beast.
Did you ever put down a person after the club situation?
Apparently, Sylvester Björnsson is the picture of coolness itself. And, I don't know, the beast in the back of your mind is quickly confined to its cage, whimpering and whining a little bit. And no more growls. That's good. What are we doing now?
Wait.
He's gonna take a closer look at these cops. Do they look like actually legit cops?
Good question, isn't it? You have some insight, you have some wits. Yeah, you'd say so if it's take half roll, yeah. Badge numbers, you can see the guy who's abusing you the most is called Price, apparently. By his badge name.
How good are you at running, white boy?
They're gonna shove both of you up against the vehicle and grab your arms, manacles on, and start hauling you away from this particular place.
I think Sylvester is gonna attempt to activate awe and at least ask them what this is about.
All right, that's free, I believe. Yeah, you get to add you add your presence to whatever social skill you want to do right now. Persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take
Charisma
half
or
here because that's gonna be like 7 dice, 4 on average. Oh, you know what you've done, says Officer Price. We found the guy.
What guy?
You sick bastards. Why did you have to cut him up like that? You're under arrest for murder. You have the right to an attorney, and they're gonna Miranda You're getting Miranda'd, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
They are Mirandizing you.
Yep.
You have officially been Miranda'd.
Yep. And they're not gonna tell you to watch your head to get into the car. If anything, they're gonna rough handle you and just shove you into the back of the police cruiser. It's gonna be tricky with 2 perps like that, but they'll have to do with that. Leopold is just looking at Sylvester. What the hell is going on? What the fuck?
I don't know.
But there is one little part of Leo that is... The uncertainty is Leo's face right now, Syl, is... What did you do now? Not, why are they being so mean to us?
Sounds like murder. Who'd you liquefy this time?
You are brought over to the local, county jail, local precinct, and booked there. You are at the police station. There is all the noise, all the typical noise and hullabaloo of a police station. Typewriters clicking away because they still haven't gotten away from typewriters yet. All sorts of other perpetrators who are being lined up in various situations and held for their crimes against society. All sorts of lowlifes. Robbers, car thieves, gangsters, drug dealers, hookers, you name it. That's just a flock of them around here. And you're being put into one of those cages with lots of other lowlifes around here. Yeah. Sylvester Johnson. Bjornsson, not Johnson. Where did I get Johnson?
Maybe that's what he's telling the police his name is.
I don't know. What are you telling the police your name is?
I'm being honest. I'm telling them my name.
Sylvester Bjornsson.
I like it.
They're gonna take your fingerprints and everything, which is not gonna be impossible to do because they have the smudgy thing, and therefore you will actually be able to produce fingerprints. I don't know that the smudge is going to stay on your fingers for very long because you have no fat, no oils that comes out on our skin because you're in fact not alive. They're doing the same with Leo. And yeah, that's going to be one long night as you're sitting in there and you're being processed. And I have what are we doing in here? I don't know that the other prisoners are going to necessarily be terribly abusive, though some might be. Some of the hookers might offer you their services because Sylvester does look pretty, doesn't he? In a way. He's a glam rocker. He has fame.
I think Sylvester is at least gonna ask for a phone call.
That makes sense. And you have the right to one, absolutely. Where are we calling? You've been in there for a couple of hours, probably, when you get your phone call.
Who am I calling? Oh, fuck.
You need a lawyer, don't you?
I do need a lawyer. I don't have one.
You don't.
I really want to get out of there as soon as possible. What with the
Yeah,
whole...
I'm gonna call my coterie's haven.
Who happens to
Sure.
be there that particular night? Roll the D2s. Let's see.
Yeah.
1 and you're not there, and 2 and you're there. That goes for Ivy too, because you might be over and having a chat with them about regular Chicago business.
Oh.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, I got it too.
Tony's there.
Kate's there.
Kate's there, yeah.
Oh, damn it.
The exclamation point. Exclamation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's /R. Sorry.
Yeah, I forgot to type the slash.
Charlie's not there. That's a backslash.
Aye.
But Ivy is there. Okay, so we have, in fact, Ivy. Okay, let's make that picture a little bit.
It's either going to be Ivy or I who's going to answer the phone since Kate's doing paperwork.
Kate and Tony.
There's probably a
What,
phone
Tony
on
is
the
not
desk.
answering the phone anymore.
Sorry?
Kate seems a bit busy, okay?
Okay, so
There's
is
probably the phone's on the desk, probably.
yeah. You probably have several phones. I'm sure there's a wall phone,
Yeah.
a desk phone, that sort of thing.
Sure.
I remember those cords that were all spirally. Anyway, they were excellent fidget toys. Who's answering the phone? Kate, Ivy,
I'm happy to,
Tony.
but
You answered
Tony doesn't
first.
want
Do you want to
do,
roll off
so-
for it?
I fall
Um,
first. I'm going to start breaking shit, probably.
Sure,
so-
I'll answer.
Yeah.
I pick up.
Yeah, you're picking up. Let's go. Sylvester.
Hello, who's this?
Hello, it's your buddy Sylvester. Kate,
Yeah. What have you
I'm
done?
currently in jail.
Okay. For a normal reason?
No, that's the thing. Apparently, they believe all I heard was, put your hands up and something about, oh, you fucker, you cut a guy, and I'm like, I genuinely have no idea. And I might need some
Okay,
help
so
because
just-
I don't know how to do the whole lawyer thing, and
It's
No.
fine. They're profiling. I'm sure they're just under quota.
yeah.
Probably someone shit in their coffee. Okay. What precinct are you at?
Yeah,
I'll
you'll
be able
able
to tell them. Yeah.
13th
Yep.
precinct. There we go.
13th precinct. Okay. In that case, I'm going to reach. I don't know whether I would know any lawyers off the top of my head, but would I have the number of your band manager?
I'm sure it's in a Rolodex somewhere in the Haven.
Yeah,
You can
'Cause I
probably find
believe-
some business cards with it.
yeah. I was just like, what's his name again? Sorry, if you remember.
Derek.
Derek.
I made that up
okay.
on the spot.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
He is not a touchdown.
He's not a touchstone, but he is a decent public manager of a band. I'm sure he does know some lawyers in this particular situation. So I'm going to reach out to Derek and just pass that call through. Is there anything else you want to say? Or obviously, you didn't do it. Don't speak to the cops. You know all this. Anything else?
I'm a perfectly upstanding citizen.
Of course you are. Everyone is.
Everyone is.
Yeah, at which point she's gonna hang up and put a phone call to Derek.
Yeah, and since it's in the middle of the night, it's gonna take a while before Derek answers, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah,
Derek,
who's this?"
so this is Kate. I'm a friend of Sylvester's. They've been arrested.
What?
They've been taken into police custody some trumped up thing. Police just took them off the street. They're in the 13th precinct.
God damn it.
They need to be getting out of there as soon as possible.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Sure.
Now, here's the thing. None of you have an actual ally who is a lawyer, influence over the legal profession, or contacts in the lawyer world.
I
So,
don't have
Politics.
I do have contacts, but it doesn't say what my contacts are. So
maybe we should define that then.
Although we do have criminal contacts, and they will know lawyers.
This is true. This is true. You have one contact. Now, a contact is someone who gives you information.
I guess
Someone
we
who
better
does
call
you
Paul.
favors.
Can I speak to Leopold and see if he knows any lawyers? Because he is a bouncer that works with venues. So...
I have 2.
Yes,
Okay.
but you have a 2-dot retainer, not a 3-dot retainer, so he has no backgrounds or advantages. Excuse
Fair
me.
enough.
So he's not really, no. Contract lawyers, I guess, but that's Derek's thing. Yeah, oh, so that's the problem here. Derek is your band manager. He knows contract lawyers, so it's going to take him a while to get you off the hook.
Would I try to speed it up with politics? Because that would be knowing local influences, wouldn't it?
Do we have enough resources to retain a good lawyer around here? Goldtooth does, with 3 resources.
hold on.
You're actually rich.
I can
There's something I want to bring up though.
use my resources to get him out.
Is there any way I can use? You said like the whole criminal contacts would probably know lawyers. I have 3 levels in criminal contacts, so
So
is there any
you
way I
would-
can do that?
Through that, yes. Through that, you would be able to find a good lawyer. Then you will need the resources to actually pay them, as it were. But that's, I guess, where Ivy comes in, isn't it?
2 dots is enough for a lawyer of resources.
3 dots gives you a good lawyer.
That's fair, but also they don't really have anything on Sylvester. He doesn't need a good lawyer. He just needs to get out.
Yeah, I'm just saying that Ivy could help you get it. And
Yeah.
also, a quicker lawyer, because who says... Here's the thing. You're on the clock, because sooner or later the sun will go up. Lawyers don't know that, because they don't know that you're vampires, because you've been very good at keeping the masquerade. So you'll need to have a lawyer who is willing to get out there and not let... to not let Sylvester spend the night in the clinker, because they can hold Sylvester for a while, and some lawyers who are, shall we say, less diligent than others might just go, yeah, I'll do it in the morning, I'll be there at 8 or whatever. At which point, it might be a bit late for Sylvester.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that we need to get him out toot sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although on the other hand, if the holding cell doesn't have any windows,
But
they'll
he-
just think
he-
he's died.
he'll
and we
fall
can go pick
asleep.
him up at the morgue.
Yes. And then
That sounds like breaking the masquerade to me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's in our best interest to get Sylvester out of here as quick as possible.
Yes.
So with that in mind, I would say that Ivy's notion of using the Resources 3 model to get a slightly more desperate ambulance chaser lawyer down there quickly might be a good idea.
So yeah, my contacts, your resources. We might
Alright.
just be able to stop Sylvester from dying
Yes.
in a really funny way.
Okay, now, fortunately, we're going to have to do this by the book, because if we interfere too much with the police loading one like that, but sending a lawyer is okay. We can't just go down there and say, leave him out, because Loden would not like that.
No.
But
no.
a lawyer's fine.
We need to do this fast, Tony Hernandez. Wits and street-wise, you do have your criminal contact, so that's 9 dice in total. You don't have to roll that. It's going to be, you can just take half. Within an hour, you're going to have a connect to a lawyer that will charge, but that Ivy can cover the charge for. And
Tell him he gets an extra $500,000 if he gets him out before 6 a.m.
Exactly. Here
Oh,
you go.
much money.
Yeah, with criminal context plus a blood surge, I would have 11 dice.
Yeah, but we don't need you.
So 5 successes.
Look at that, Sylvester. At 5 a.m., there's going to be a lawyer here for you who's going to ask you a bunch of questions and then ask the police a bunch of questions. And the desk sergeant there, Mr. Jones, Sergeant Jones, will apparently... There's conversations outside your cell, Sylvester. The lawyer is very upset, and I'm Sylvester's lawyer. What do you have on Sylvester here? Huh? Present to me. I have the right to see your evidence. Let's see now here. And thanks to the forthright acting of the coterie, your lawyer is gonna, in fact, manage to get you out. Because it turns out that Officer Price said there was an eyewitness, but no eyewitness has been produced at all. And the desk sergeant is just standing there, even as Sylvester is being hauled out, and Leo as well, being hauled out from the cell, and just staring at Constable Price and going, now you made us do a lot of paperwork for nothing. Come on, Price, you know better than this. What do I gotta do here? You've been on the force for long enough now. This is just... What is this? What is this? You just like making a mess for me? What is that? Oh, gee. My apologies, Mr. Bjornsson. Yeah, and nods to the lawyer. See, we're being nice and courteous here. We're not doing any police violence at all. You're free to go. Yeah. There
was
is
this something you actually did, or just some random thing?
Who knows? But Sylvester, as you're walking out from the precinct, you're gonna hear that voice of Constable Price there. This isn't over yet! Goddamn scum. I'm gonna find... Chill, Price. Your shift is over in a few hours. Just chill.
Out of everyone here, he gets mad at Sylvester and not me. Like the cops.
You're not here. I don't think. The lawyer.
I know.
Not you guys.
The lawyer's here.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about. All right, I had a brain fart there. I was. No, fuck you.
Just before dawn, Sylvester Bjornsson returns to the Haven. And feels how?
I feel like I've gotten away with murder that I didn't commit.
That doesn't happen every night, does it?
I
Sometimes you do
believe,
commit them.
I believe he will be very happy with his call, to say the least.
Since the lawyer looked over the paperwork, does he know, like, what the accusation was?
Oh, it was murder, yeah. Murder in the first degree.
Who?
Some person who was found, a John Doe found dead in an alley, chopped to pieces with some kind of blade. Yeah.
Is that something we should look into?
It got Sylvester in trouble, so maybe.
Someone being
Right.
stabbed in an alleyway isn't unusual. Someone being hacked apart with a
Yeah, that's
long-bladed weapon, that's a very unusual crime.
Honestly, I'm more concerned about it because it got Sylvester in trouble for some reason. What sort of evidence made them come to the conclusion that Sylvester was a suspect?
I think the pigs did that because they don't want to actually solve crimes. They want to get paid and go home.
It was another color, right?
Culp looked like, I don't know, a rocky music
Well,
star.
You look like a serial killer sometimes. Probably.
So what are the actual warning signs that they may be onto us? That if they find a guy in the pipes under a steelworks, we're in trouble. And what was the other one? The dead policeman in an abandoned shop or something. What did we do with him in the end?
We drained him of all of his blood, and also there was the other cop who we left tied up with the dead body, who was alive. So,
But he was mind wiped
Yep,
pretty
yep.
effectively.
true.
In that case, Sylvester, do you, when the pig was arresting you, did you catch any details about where this crime was supposed to have happened?
No, I have no idea. I mean, you could maybe talk to my lawyer, but
Yeah.
We
yeah.
paid that guy if he can answer a few questions.
What? If you paid him $500,000, you paid him $1 million back.
No. What? No, probably not. More like 1,000 or something?
Yeah, that makes
Charging
more
by
reasonable
the hour.
sense.
Well, if he charges 1,000 by the hour, then you paid him like 3,000 or so. But I don't think he's that high powered. I think he's charging $300 or $400 an hour. It's 1991 after all.
Yeah, I should probably work on increasing my criminal contacts. Probably.
One fine time.
Fair enough. Well, I guess I'm going to reach out to the. Oh, I'm gonna ask Ivy if he can get any details from the lawyer about the crime that he was supposed to have committed. That
Yeah,
Sylvester was
sure.
supposed to have committed.
I'll get my
Like, we probably only have a few hours until dawn, so.
yeah. I'll get Alice to make copies of Sylvester's stuff. This sheet, the papers, like his
Yep.
like the charge papers and stuff like that.
The arrest report?
Yeah. Jesus.
Sure. In that case, looking over that, does it have any details about the crime?
It would definitely have some details, and the lawyer would be privy to that, because you need to know about stuff.
Yeah, you can't really say an alibi. You can't really give a good alibi if you don't know where they're supposed to have not been.
Mm-hmm. So
Also, we do know that journalist who's into weird stuff, but we're not supposed to talk to him.
Yes. Yeah. Also, he seems very perceptive, but gullible.
Who?
Cartwright.
Oh, Scotty.
would there be any information on who the quote-unquote witness was?
Again, the prize has not been able to produce one, though there is allegedly one.
Allegedly.
So,
I think we found the story. Maybe.
In that case, once Kate's got the details, she'll ask if anyone else wants to investigate, because this is a serious crime. It's going to hit the newspapers soon, and we might, since Sylvester's already been brought in.
So detail
There's a chance.
of the crime. Murder in the first degree. Victim found dismembered in abandoned warehouse. Cause of death, extensive wounds inflicted by a bladed weapon consisted with large machetes or swords. Scene showed no signs of forced entry. Victim's body discovered in multiple pieces, arranged deliberately. Time of death estimated between 9:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Anonymous caller claimed to have witnessed the suspects fleeing the scene.
you said a specific shape? I heard that. Like the body was seen to be arranged in a specific shape.
Yep.
By any chance a pentagram?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Of course.
Now I'm invested even more.
No, this is
Oh,
annoying.
no wonder they went after you. If there was a pentagram. Oh, yeah. Man, if I was a cop, I would target you too.
Hey,
So the evidence that's collected is a partial blood trail leading from the warehouse entrance. But this is a fresh scene, so the lab work hasn't been in.
Yeah, in that case, we should probably check this out while the scene's fresh.
You're not
also,
gonna be able
while
to
the
do
cops.
that tonight because
Not tonight?
Yeah, tomorrow night possibly. Yeah.
Damn. While the cops are tired.
You make one or two songs about
Every
deaths
evening.
and devils and shit, and suddenly you're accused of murder.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Welcome to the club.
You just got screwed by the satanic panic.
Exactly. Do you guys remember that satanic? I remember it. I was there, and yes, metal. Like
I'm 19. I'm not even old enough to remember that shit.
that's the latest one was really with Marilyn Manson when he was entering the scene and becoming a big star, which is 10 years in the future. But yeah, all the conservatives were absolutely, and Christian conservatives were absolutely sure that Marilyn
Is it
Manson
still Alice
was.
Cooper around this time?
What was that?
Is it still Alice Cooper around this time?
Alice Cooper is old news by now. Alice Cooper was
Okay.
the 70s when everybody was very. Now it's more like death metal or I don't know. Remember when death metal came on the scene? To be honest.
The fun thing is Sylvester is moving a little bit more towards metal, so this probably doesn't help.
Yeah, and I don't think that your average cop will notice the difference. I think it was just enough
No,
that
they don't,
Sylvester
they
might
don't.
have had a pentagram on the jacket because meta. Look, it's the same sign. As if that sign doesn't exist in 50 billion subcultures.
Probably just like on one of his or whatever, or like his.
It turns out
necklace.
it turns out triggering Christian snowflakes is very popular.
It is
Among
very
the whole
popular.
crowd.
It's been a pastime since at least the 70s. No, since the Elvis Presley age, at least.
Before that, you should have seen the trouble Duke Ellington got.
And in
I mean,
the
I would say more than triggering Christians, but since they've been nailing Jesus to a cross.
yeah, pretty much. In the 20s, it was jazz and all that stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a good
and
old
then-
tradition.
Story about Duke Ellington. That one time when he was touring the South and the segregated hotels wouldn't let his band stay anywhere, he rented a sleeper train that was more luxurious than any of the hotels and just went on tour in that.
Based as shit.
Is it possible to get the details of the police officer as well on the arrest report? The arresting officer.
Not really, no.
That isn't on the report?
Only that
Just-
you have the arresting officer badge number.
Yeah, just his name.
Yeah, okay. Hal Price, badge number 5481.
Okay. Hal Price goes missing in a month or so?
Maybe.
Oh, wait.
yeah.
Hey, you don't let that sort of thing slide. You act like you let it slide and then get revenge later. I'm sure Sylvester would be happy to join in on that particular escapade.
Speaking of things like criminal contacts, Goldtooth Charlie. Because we can't
Oh,
have Goldtooth
yeah.
Charlie just sailing through this week without any problems, right?
I was about to say he doesn't go missing, but he randomly wakes up somewhere with the drugs in his pockets.
We'll find out
which probably-
later. That's probably going to be next week. Goldtooth Charlie.
Or he's
Someone-
sorry. I was just going to say, or he's somehow compelled to admit to a crime he committed to a very well-known reporter.
ah, Tell It All. Scotty Cartwright is there. Is anyone following Tell It All these days?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Before I forget, if we're having to go to bed soon, if the warehouse scene may be time sensitive, does any of the Ghoul squad have relevant skills that could go and look at it?
Do Alice has investigation, interestingly enough, because I feel like she's doing a lot of legwork for Ivy in tracking down financial records and people and all sorts of other things. So I gave her investigation a lot for that reason. Gomez does not. Leopold has a little bit, but yeah, I feel like Miss Reese might be the best person for that, to be honest. Which is a bit weird, but there we are. Wits and investigation for her is 6, so she's pretty strong with that. Up to Ivy to command her, though. I don't even know if she's awake at the moment, because ghouls have to sleep as well.
Maybe just leave a post-it note. Investigate murder.
Yeah, my idea would be that I kiss hands with her in the mornings before I go to sleep, and again when I wake up.
That makes sense, yeah. If she's getting up at 6 a.m., you will have the possibility to see her before you go to sleep, and then you go to sleep at 6:30-ish, 7, because it's winter, it's January, and then you wake up at 5, and she's still awake until 10, so plenty of overlap there.
Yeah.
What was this herd that were hiding upstairs when you recruited Reese?
I don't know that they necessarily have to hide upstairs. You don't have to have the herd in your haven. It could be anywhere.
This is tangent, but Ivy is deliberately preparing to look like he's had a midlife crisis or something. His haven on the inside looks like a bachelor sex pad, and his herd is there as these are like the women he's sleeping with while he's having this midlife crisis.
Why not? Rich people have to express their midlife crisis in some way too.
But he's setting that up so he's trying to explain how he's putting out of business slowly during the day.
So now we've got this guy's a cross between, what was it, James Spade, Harvey Weinstein, and now Hugh Hefner.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, this just gets worse.
All the best people.
Oh. And it's gonna be like once your vampire becomes old enough, then it's like almost an Epstein thing. Oh no!
They're not underage though.
No,
yeah.
they're all in
they
their
are.
20s.
They aren't underage, but
Goldtooth.
it's something to raise your eyebrow at. A couple 100-year-old vampire, 20-year-old women.
If you knew how many vampires are out there having their own like harem of sex partners, this is vanilla stuff, really.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Anyway.
Vampires are freaks!
Yep. Goldtooth Charlie, you are keeping tabs of your various networks and such like, and this is how you find out about Ruby Daggers. Whispers in the street, whispers among people on the street about Ruby Daggers, who apparently has been the crew. She is apparently putting the crew back together again. Yeah. She's gonna do a new job, but nobody knows what exactly. That's the rumor anyway, in the street.
Yeah, and imagine like these criminal contacts. These will be like the most gaudy underworld, neon and chrome kind of places that Charlie frequents. And when he hears this, he's just going to be like, "Damn, I knew she wouldn't be able to stay away." And to just give some context on what this last score was, that I don't know how far back now. It would have been like 7 or 8 months previously. This was like the most spectacular robbery Chicago had ever seen. The kind of robbery that involved forklift trucks to move all the loot. And there was like police helicopter film of the getaway, but with like vehicles so powerful and souped up they outran the helicopter. So this is an absolute legend in Chicago, and everybody just assumed that whoever pulled this off would never have to work again. But apparently Ruby just can't stay away from the adrenaline.
Maybe not. We don't know. Unless you check up on her. She is your touchstone. You don't have to check up on her. I'm happy to damage her when you're away. Yeah. You're talking to one of your... Who is this criminal contact you're talking to?
Leonardo
From Arizona Ron.
Arizona Ron? Okay, Arizona Ron has a Stetson hat.
Yeah, no, there's no choice in that matter. He does.
Yeah, he does. And he wears a very impressive belt buckle with like Texas Longhorns on.
He's
And-
MAGA in spirit.
What was that?
Nothing. I'm talking to myself.
Okay. In today's
Good
day and
hearing.
age, he would definitely be MAGA, yes.
Should Hispanic people have rights?
Exactly. That's the
Should who
question.
have rights?
Anyone who isn't an Anglo-Protestant American, basically. It's MAGA we're
Oh.
talking about, right? So, and man, yeah.
Yeah, don't want to
Straight man.
lump in the women folk in terms of having rights.
No. Anyway, so Arizona Ron is hanging out there and just sharing your latest. Yeah, so I heard are you famous, Goldtooth Charlie? Among, I don't think you are. You
No, I
are.
think I've actually got the disliked trait because this massive robbery caused so much chaos for
Right.
the underworld. A lot of people are annoyed at the crew for doing it.
But it's gonna be but the cops are also after you. It's funny that you are being the one who's being chased by the cops, and what was that? I was gonna say, and Sylvester is the one who got arrested. Anyway,
I am hated by the cops. I'm hated more than Goldtooth somehow. So I
Anyway.
probably killed you at this.
so Arizona Ron is standing about, and he's, yeah. Do you hear about Ruby Daggers? Are you gonna be part of her crew? You are gonna be part of her crew, right? Aren't you? Because you're gonna mess things up for us again, aren't you?
Charlie's just gonna lean in and say, "I thought the whole crew left town. What's the story?"
What's the story? So you don't know? I don't know the whole story, but she's getting the crew back together. I heard that Slick Vargas is in on it, the Ghost, Breaker, all of them.
Oh, that's interesting. If you tell Tony about this, he will try to join.
And Charlie will just say, "I didn't know anything about this. I went back home to Cali for a while. Just got back in town recently."
Oh, maybe you want to poke her then. I'm sure she won't be. I just want to say one thing, and then he's realizing what he's saying. Don't mess shit up again, okay? That was my whole point here. I was just gonna tell you, don't mess this shit up again. We had enough from it last time you guys were doing this.
And Charlie will like, "Hey, yeah, I hear you. But that footage from the chopper looked so good."
Says Ron. Yeah. Some of us are trying to keep a low profile.
Have you got Ruby's new number? Those guys were always clever about not keeping phones for too long.
Oh, yeah, sure, I can hook you up with him. Obviously, because you have criminal contacts up the wazoo. Getting Ruby Daggers' address is not going to be hard. Or phone number, I should say.
And also, while I remember, because of like the rap songs that the name Arizona Ron is inspired by, I'm also calling now another one of Charlie. Oh no, wait, I can't use it. Never mind. I'll come up with another name for his other contacts later. Because I was thinking there was another one in one of the songs who was called Charlie Baltimore, but since Charlie's already called Charlie, that's just gonna get silly. If this,
Yeah. That honestly makes me feel like you should do it just for the bit.
Yeah, I have my Uncle Con and my Uncle Con Ardeen. We
also,
can,
yeah. So there's like Goldtooth Charlie and Charlie Baltimore.
yes.
They both say, yeah.
So is this going to be Goldtooth having a chat with Daggers?
Ah, fuck! That was unrelated to any of that.
Or with Tony?
Dog just bit your toe off.
Yeah, I think before maybe this was late at night, just the first thing in the morning too. There's not going to be time to talk to Ruby before Charlie needs to sleep, but we'll probably head back to the headquarters and we'll talk to Tony about this criminal to criminal. I thought this was supposed to be the last score and everybody was supposed to be getting out, but it looks like they're getting back together again.
Tony hears about that.
I'm in.
You're in. You want to do the score too?
Yeah, I'm in. Hell yeah. I don't even care if they want me in. I'm in now.
So does this mean that Tony is going to reach out to his touchstones to get this heist to be even bigger than we thought it would be?
Yes.
Thus endangering, in fact, your own touchstone. But you have to, because this is the thing with the touchstones. They have to keep doing the things that you connect to their value for, right? In the case for your sister there, defend the crew, she has to keep doing that. The strong will do what they will to the weak. Your touchstone Sinbad there, he might be the one who you want to connect with this, because that way he will do the heist and do what he wants to the weak.
This is all coming together now. Hell yeah, this is perfect. We're crafting the perfect storm here.
Yep. I guess that's the thing that Tony and Goldtooth are gonna work on here. I don't think we're gonna have time to do the heist this time, but probably next time we meet. Meanwhile, I want to ask Kate.
Yeah?
What are we doing with the mission that the Tremere have given you?
That's the thing. I was trying to get a mask so I could sign up to the university without raising any flags. That's why I was going after that. I was on mission. I was just trying to do it.
Oh, you're doing.
without
Yeah, they haven't
masquerade.
given you a ticking clock on this. On the other hand,
No.
it should probably not be too long of a ticking clock.
This thing, I'm trying to find a person to make me a mask as quick as I can. It's just a lot of other stuff keeps coming up.
I'm sure you can find some time this week to because this thing with bailing someone out from the jail, that's just a couple of hours in one night, and this is a whole week. If you want to start getting a mask for the university, as in the background, we can start another project for you.
Sure. I should only take a week according to the book, but
Oh, really? Let's see now.
Yeah,
Let
it's-
me check again. Mask. Yeah, maybe it only does that.
because it shouldn't. Yeah.
In that case,
I think
then
it's-
it's default. The vampire either has a single fake. The zero dot mask does not pass a background check, much less a proper investigation. You have a good fake identity. Yeah, it seems like that shouldn't have to take too long. So maybe it's like a night per die increment to get it.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm not really remembering where I saw it, but it was like a week per dot, and I only want a 1 dot.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you want to do it at one night, I'll take that. Speed it up. I'll take the free.
You want to have 1 dot in mask? It's gonna be a new project here, and
That's why I was trying to get in touch with some Nosferatu.
so
domain.
far it's been hard.
If you
Strong.
want to go
I could also.
to the
sorry,
university, Ivy could have his daughter show you around.
Sure. That's not a bad
That's not the
idea.
level of a mask,
Apparently,
though.
Kate could also reach out to Eric Weiss, as someone who used to be Harry Houdini. He's probably very experienced in making masks.
What does this mean, mask? Is it like an actual physical
No,
mask?
it's a false identity. It's credit score, insurance, credit card, bank account, credit history, birth certificate. Everything to pass the state or provincial level background check. But it just means I can turn up at the university and I don't need to give my real name and records when I'm trying to sign up to a course. And I do exist.
What magic skills does Kate actually have so far from Tremere training?
Not many. But to be fair, The Tremere don't really teach magic, they just teach indoctrination.
Yeah, I thought it might be that. It's like the outer order of the Golden Dawn. You're mostly just like learning the rituals and the rules and stuff.
Yeah, it's very much the rank suggests how much power, but no rank actually comes with, oh, we're teaching you more power. You've got to get all the power yourself.
Right. Because I think since you have to approach this guy, since the whole point is he is into magic, you could just approach him as a fellow occultist.
Oh, but that would put him probably on edge, and I don't know whether he's actually magic, whether he's just a literary guy, whether he studies historical fiction, or if he is a mage of some sort. And if I walk up to anyone who isn't a full mage and start sprouting magic, that's a real bad idea. And if I do that in front of an actual mage, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
There's some issues here, yes.
The Order of Hermes are not big fans of Tremere.
Not at all.
Yeah. I can't... Well, the plan I was thinking of doing is I've got Auspex, Sense the Unseen, which should allow me to detect supernatural effects, which magic would fall under.
Yep.
So I was planning on auditing a few of his classes, maybe swinging by his office to try and normal university stuff, like saying, oh, I'm like, what's the reading list? I didn't really get this information. Is there other books? Basically just putting me in his spaces where I can use that to see if I'm pinging off anything unnatural.
Let's see now. You could get a mask, or you could just hack your way into the university student databases yourself. Because you are, in fact, a hacker.
Yes.
That is probably
but to be fair, so far hacking hasn't been very useful in 1991. So.
What are you talking about? The whole movie War Games is about how amazing hacking is to fix your own grades. It literally starts with Anyway.
If it's that easy, I would like to at least attempt to do that.
Stuff.
I'm gonna say it's that easy, yes. I don't think university administrators have that much computer savvy at this stage. The Department of Computer Science would have it, but the central administration is just now getting online and stuff. The internet has started existing at universities. I think you can get yourself in there.
Yeah,
in that case, I can take half for $4.
Yep, absolutely. And you have yourself a student ID that can be easily printed and under whatever pseudonym you might want.
Sure.
And you had to use one of those old-style modems where you actually put the phone in the modem.
Yes. Not quite that old. Nope, yes, it is. It's 1991. It's not 94 yet. Yeah, right.
The university probably has a dedicated phone line just for the internet.
Yep, it has.
In that case, I will take my student ID. Claire Newsom. And just do what I said. Go to a few of his lectures, gather any information I can, see whether the information he is teaching lines up with anything I know, because I am well versed in the occult.
Yeah.
So, because the job was also to figure out whether any of it was real, and if it was, acquire it / destroy anyone else's access to it, and if it wasn't real, just stop this guy from currently investigating what he's investigating. There's also, I think, a book I'm looking for, or possibly. I'm not sure if there's an actual item I know of yet.
There is not. There's just the rumor that he has stumbled over things.
Yes. So yeah, that's what I'll try to do.
Very well. I feel like I need to have a picture of the university at some point. Clearly.
Maybe.
But not right now. We are going to the university to sit in a lecture by Dr. William Carter. And we are definitely going to see the good doctor himself, aren't we? We'll just use the skyline for now. Dr. Carter. Look at him. He is the epitome of professor.
Yeah, he's the epitome of tenured professor.
Yes.
Professor.
The topic of...
Worrying about whether he was gonna get tenure is what took his hairline back.
Fair enough.
It's all the students, probably. Literal night. In this case, it's going to be like a 7 o'clock lecture, probably. We don't want to be too... And sometimes you just have to do it that way. Even when you have tenure, it's sad but true.
To be fair, he's teaching a very specific and niche subject, so he probably doesn't have priority time slots for those
No,
classes.
he doesn't. The topic for tonight is mysticism, power, and blood. Occult practices in 15th century Europe. This is the Department of Religious Studies. And the
Perfect.
audience will be...
with
it's a talk.
With my... Can I make a separate hacking check to get the list of students in this class? Because they are perfect sort of people for my cult.
You know what? You can probably get that by hacking too, yes.
Are you sure you aren't secretly the ministry? Currently?
This is like a select group of people who are interested in esoteric knowledge and learning, and are also smart enough to know that this is interesting. Like, it's very much weeding out all of the idiots.
As far as in this city, there is no ministry, or as they're now known in 1991, followers of Set. So it's all good. You're not stepping
Would I
on
know-
any toes.
As a third level apprentice, would I even know the ministry exists?
I think the followers of Set, probably, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you have Occult
fair
level
enough.
3, right? When you have a lot of intelligence, you would know about all the different clans that exist. I'm sure. There's Camarilla, there's Anarchs,
oh
there's
no!
the Butlers,
Yeah,
the Independents.
I was mixing up the ministry with the technocracy.
Oh, you don't know the...
Yeah, no, not the technocracy. The ministry is the followers of Set in 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With stuff like that, there's probably like a big list on the wall of the chantry that is, do not trust these people under any circumstances.
Yeah,
And it's a mirror.
that is quite funny and accurate. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just put that as a side list as possible people to acquire for the cult.
Yeah, this is now a talk where undergrads have been encouraged to attend, and some will. There will also be graduate students and maybe 1 or 2 faculty members interested in, because he's working on a new book, apparently. It's not done yet. It's a talk based on a forthcoming paper.
Yeah.
I know exactly what this hall looks like. It's going to be the amphitheater style. The chairs are all wooden, so terribly uncomfortable to sit in. They're bolted down. You have a fold-down thing to have your documents and your books on and your notepads on.
Yeah.
And there is up front there, he's pulling down the big screen that he's going to use for the overhead projector, because there is no monitor or computer support at this stage. He's going to have the transparencies. Maybe he has a slideshow that are literal slides that the old style.
I know how they work. They still use those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chick, that style.
Oh, that's the fancy ones. You didn't have the little laminated sheets on the projector with the mirror.
Oh yeah, he has the laminated sheets. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And he even writes on them sometimes with a marker. And then there's a big blackboard, because whiteboards haven't been invented yet.
The first bit, she's just gonna listen in and see whether anyone else is particularly. Actually, she'll activate Auspex just to see if anyone here is registering, or if he's registering at all. Or would symbols that are inherently magic register under that?
I think they would, yeah. I think they would.
Depends on how they are used.
Yeah, if they're not actively being
That's
used,
fair.
they're just a cult. They're just actually magic. Do you want me to roll or not?
Why not?
So that's wits occult or wits awareness or it's wits auspex. Sorry,
Yes, there you go.
got there eventually. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Not great.
No, not great at all,
Not
honestly.
great. There isn't anything in effect at the moment.
Fair enough. In that case, you'll just try to... We're gonna try and use a mix of... You can't mix two skills together, can you? Instead. Because I was just thinking, oh no, I can use occult and manipulation to try and get him to talk more about his sources in the lecture.
When you raise your hand, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not just gonna shout out.
Good evening.
Kate was kidnapped from a university. She is very much a university student.
Tonight
She never
we turn our
stopped. She
attention
just died.
to a period in European history where faith, fear, and power were so intertwined that the boundaries between religion and sorcery blurred almost beyond recognition. The 15th century, marked by upheaval, inquisitions, and plague, gave rise to a profound obsession with the supernatural. The church attempted to maintain authority through doctrine and fire, yet beneath this veneer, secretive groups explored rites that blended faith with forces far older and darker. And then he's still gonna talk about the power of blood and ritual magic, symbolically, of course. I have uncovered a fragment from a Codex Sanguinus, a manuscript believed lost in the fires of Prague. The text describes rites in which blood offerings were used not merely for appeasement of deities or demons or other supernatural entities, but for the binding of spiritual forces. It raises fascinating questions about how power was perceived. Could the soul be extracted and controlled? And what would such knowledge mean to those who ruled? Now we must tread carefully here. The word thaumaturgy today is often misunderstood, reduced to mere stagecraft in popular consciousness. But in these texts, it was a systematic approach to divine intervention, ritual magic of the highest order, believed capable of altering reality itself.
Sylvester's taking notes.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna go in depth into this. This is gonna be one of those hour-long lectures. And
Kate's taking diligent notes.
very diligent notes. And unfortunately for Kate, he is touching on things that are indeed close to the truth. Even if he hasn't actually invoked in a ritual right here in front of everyone else. How he speaks about how blood can fuel magical powers? Yeah, this is real. Consider the ritual of sanguine invocation, described critically in the Liber Oscurus. Practitioners prepare a circle marked not with chalk, but with the living script of life's river, blood. Each line a symbol of intent, each offering a chain binding unseen forces. The purpose? To extend one's influence, not only in the material realm, but also in the immaterial.
Try to interrupt, throw up a hand, and just interrupt him and just say, basically she's just going to try and not undermine his point, but direct it less from the practical what is supposed to be talking about and more just the politics of the time and the distribution of power, like taking it away from the magic and putting it back into the politics realm.
Oh my god. That's going to be super frustrating for him, I'm pretty sure.
Another possibility is if you help him become an awakened mage, then we've got Yozio and we've got a mage on our side.
Awakened mages are just as likely to blow themselves and other ones up as they are to successfully use magic.
Let's see here. Why don't you roll, Kate, a manipulation academics check? That is definitely the right thing to do here.
Is
You
this
could
guy
take half if you
a
want,
vampire,
but
or do you not know?
I don't know.
We don't know.
is he a vampire? Wits and awareness check. It doesn't seem like a vampire to you. Either he's using Blush of Life or he's not a vampire.
That was my role earlier for the Rousing Blood, was the Blush of Life.
Oh, okay. So you seem like a human, at least. One success.
That is horrific.
That is horrific. Now I'm gonna.
And that was with a
because he's-
reroll.
Because he is doing the performance here. He is holding a lecture, and he might not be so good at holding a lecture. So I'm
he
not going
could
to use
fail?
his academics rating. He's not going to use his academics rating. He's going to use his performance. And then I
Charisma?
guess he'll use his charisma. It's going to be amazing. As he's
This
trying
would've
to
been
steer
so
the
bad.
conversation back.
This would have been so bad if you'd forgotten to use Blush of Life and you're just a cadaver sat in the lecture theatre.
She doesn't have that low humanity, so luckily she doesn't look like a cadaver. You're gonna apparently fail with this attempt to steer things back to where they were, away from where they were, and he's going to say thank you. Yes, those are pertinent questions, of course, but the topic of my paper is not really, shall we say, the public politics, the body politic of the day. And he's gesturing with his hands in a very, for undergrads, probably annoying way. I'm sure half of the undergrads have started gesturing like this too, with both hands up and just
I
flapping
fired a
their-
gun and shoot him. He's throwing gang signs.
Yeah. No, but this is real power we're talking about here, that they believed in those days. And belief, of course, can be expressed as power and influence. And the implications, of course, are staggering. These are not mere superstitions. It's a careful structure, a repeated symbols found across regions, from Florence to Krakow. We're talking here about a potential for a shared understanding, a network of scholars and practitioners exchanging knowledge right under the nose of the church itself, or perhaps within it.
Yeah. Okay.
Before I
You'd think,
conclude, allow me a more speculative thought. If one could master the forces described in these texts, if thaumaturgy were more than mere metaphor, could such knowledge persist today? And he's going to stop there for a moment, and there's going to be snickers in the room, particularly from the other scholars.
Yeah.
She'll just pull a
it's like
suicide by free gunshots to the back of the head on this dude.
at this point, like she's just gonna undercut by just saying, "Oh yes, and the study of modern medicine has greatly been influenced by the bile that is present in all blood." She's just gonna undercut the whole thing of, "Oh, old knowledge is good knowledge," and she's like, "Oh, old knowledge is bullshit. It's incorrect." I think at this point she's trying to convince the other students rather than him at this point. So she's just lying.
With a wits and subterfuge thing here, taking half for a 3, there's going to be a general chuckle in the audience.
Yeah.
Kate
Yes.
is just bullying this guy.
Yeah, he's gonna.
The thing is, Kate can't use any of her powers because she's on 3 hunger. If she hits 4 hunger, she starts bleeding from the hands and forehead.
That would
Yeah,
be.
that's a problem.
With the
I
whole
forgot about
stigmata.
Yeah, just do it and deliberately fail. You want to see blood magic? Here's blood magic. Now he's in
Whoa.
Occult.
If she had the ability to kill or at least disrupt the minds of everyone in there, she could do that, possibly. But no. Yeah. So that's the end of the lecture, right?
Yeah, basically, he's
the derisive chuckles of the audience.
yeah, he's welcoming questions and a lot of there's gonna be some of his colleagues who are gonna ask pointed questions, much like you would like them to. He's gonna be like, no. Yeah, he's gonna be beset, but he's standing his ground.
Do you have anything more than a secondary source in this? Do you have just one secondary source? Which you're basing this
No, I have a primary source of very great interest. That what I will provide a full copy of, a partial copy of, I should say, because the journal don't accept more than so and so many words, of course. But I do have a primary source, yes.
and when's that going to be published?
It's forthcoming. I hope to send in my final revisions to the journal by the end of next month. And then the paper should be published this summer.
Got it. So we're gonna have to break into this guy's house, burn that, and maybe give the guy at the steel mill a new roommate.
No. That is not how Kate's approaching this problem. That's how Tony would approach this problem. Yeah, at this point, she's going to try and, after the end of the course, She's gonna try and track down like where his office is in the building.
Yep.
Then she's also going to try and get a quick feed in at one of the bathrooms. Just
Right.
a quick, oh, somebody tries to, in the women's bathroom, just walking in there, if there's just one person in there, just quick mesmerize, bite, mind wipe, seal up the wound, walk away. Just a very simple practice procedure.
Very simple practice procedure.
What's your feeding style again?
I'm an Osiris, so normally I prefer feeding from my cult members, but I will take... It doesn't stop me from feeding on anyone else.
Yeah.
No,
I do
you're not a
prefer
victim.
feeding on smarter people, though.
Yeah, someone will not quite remember what they were doing in the bathroom and why there's... Oh, they're probably coming down with the flu. That's why it's January. That's why they're suddenly feeling a bit weak in the knees and stuff. Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah.
Well-
At which point she's going to try and meet up with the professor and...
The professor
Like-
simply said that I'm afraid I'm going home for the night, but here's my card, and I'm sure, or you can come to my office hours, which is Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Thank you very much. At which point, I guess she's gonna try... She's going to grab his license plate, because that will be
Yep.
tied to his address.
That would be
And
tight.
she can't... wouldn't be good at trailing him home, even in a car.
That's
But
fair.
she can convince one of the people at the DMV to give her information she shouldn't. That will be a lot easier. Or maybe the information's in the school network as a registry for the teachers.
There is many
Possibly.
possibilities here. But before we get to any of that, you will notice in the same parking lot a fellow standing by looking at you and saying, Miss Peretti. He's an elderly fellow with a nice blazer and a business suit
Professor X.
and a white beard and bald and so on. Very short,
Do I-
actually. He's not
do I
taller than 5
recognize
foot or
him
something.
in any
Not
way?
at all. I was told that you would come to these domains, but it is customary for someone entering domains to make their presence known first and ask permission, is it not? And we will actually end the session there. So you're going to have a
talking to the elder
conversation
first.
with a particular fellow called Dr. Cretius as we get back to this in a week from now. Nice cliffhanger, I feel.
It was in my notes. I fucking
Yep.
forgot to...
You
Is the
did.
domain of Dr. Cretius, who has a fondness for ancient Greek and philosophies.
Yep.
Fuck. I was wondering what that meant, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yep. But we'll find out more next week when Kate has clearly committed a little bit of a faux pas here. Let's see if she can wriggle her way
Oh,
out
she-
of it.
And she did feed as well. Fuck.
Yes.
Yep. And
Oh,
also,
no.
he's apparently a Bruja Primogen, so, you know.
Oh no!
Oh, that changes things even more.
It's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
think
great.
I have everything for you
Yeah,
now.
put directly in brainstem right now.
Uncle, when you said he's short as well, is he like 5 foot tall, 4 feet wide, and just all muscle?
Who knows? We'll find out in a week from now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember, you preserve the masquerade by chatting, follow the channel, click on the bell icon, comment on the comment section
Oops. Did
about
not mean to-
your prognostication about how Dr. Cretius might greet Miss Peretti. We will see you all in a week.